If you're a human being with 2 eyes and a nose, it's very likely you've heard of Undertale at least once in your life, which is of course unfortunate for like pirates with eye patches and Voldemort. I mean, even the Pope has seen Undertale because MatPat gave it to him. It's in the Vatican. It's essentially canon in the Bible at this point. It's one of the most notorious indie games in the modern day. I'd say the only indie game that's more notorious than Undertale is probably Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, but they have a movie and like VR games and a dev studio at this point, so it barely qualifies as an indie game. So Undertale takes the cake in this situation. But even if you have somehow never heard of Undertale, it's very likely you've probably heard Undertale's music before, because it's in like every meme compilation ever. It's used for every commentary videos, and it's mainly because Toby Fox, the creator and composer of the Undertale music, has said very openly that he wants people to use the music everywhere. I mean, there is a tweet that I saw on his account very recently that said, hey, if you ever uploaded a YouTube video containing the Undertale or Deltarune music, which is the like semi-sequel, the spiritual successor to Undertale, you receive a copyright notice, always dispute it, and it should be resolved in your favor. However, despite Toby Fox's wishes for the music to be free for anyone to use, the company who owns the rights to Undertale's music, Materia Music Publishing, has decided to take an genocide route of their own, but on YouTube regarding copyright, specifically against a YouTuber named Sibbles, who posted a video recently of her doing a playthrough of Undertale Yellow, which, for this story to make more sense, I must now introduce this fan game, because my god, is it a beauty. See, Undertale Yellow is a passion project that took 7 years to make. It's completely free to download, and look at it. Just look at it. Look how amazing that looks. It's essentially the same vibe of Undertale, but just a little more modernized. Oh my god, that was a crazy transition to pause on, but it looks great. And of course, YouTubers have been playing it through, and what it does is it takes a lot of the music from the original game, but remixes and tweaks it slightly to fit the new vibe that the game's trying to go for. And so when Sibbles did her playthrough of the game, she expected no issues, because just like every other YouTuber so far who's played through the game and posted it, the music is remixed and copyrighted, but it's still able to be posted because all you do is just ask for the copyright issue to be retracted, and it will be retracted, because that is what Toby Fox told Materia to do. And literally in YouTube, the YouTube FAQ of Materia Music site says, hey, we're not going to discourage anyone from creating cover songs or remixes. We have a long-standing relationship with the game music remixed community, and we encourage the creation of properly licensed covers that support the original composers. Which it does! It does! Everything about the game respects Toby Fox, and Toby Fox has actually talked with the creator of Undertale Yellow in conjunction with it as it was being put together. So this game has the okay from the original creator of the game, but there was an issue that came with Sibbles' recent video. See, when Sibbles posted her video initially, she got the claim that always comes through. The claim that's like, hey, this is Undertale music, which then you respond with a, hey, I'm allowed to use it, and then YouTube's like, oh yeah, you go ahead, you do that. That's completely fine. But when you try to appeal one of these claims, it usually takes like days. Like you have to wait like a whole era for you to get a response from YouTube to allow you to actually monetize the video, which can be a problem when you're trying to get a video up within a certain time frame, because then all the views that happen within that time frame you're not getting paid for, and then once you finally get the video accepted, like, oh yeah, you can make money now, and then the whole convention's empty. There's like one guy sitting in the stands because everyone else has already seen it. And so Sybil sent an email directly to Materia Music Publishing that says this: I sent in a copyright claim dispute recently as of my video titled The Undertale Yellow Experience got copyright claimed for the Undertale music track, Enemy Approaching. Normally, I would dispute this and wait for the claim to be released, but I was wondering if you could speed up the dispute process because I need to get this video up as soon as possible. I can't upload the video until the claim is released. Which is completely reasonable. It's Sibbles reaching out and being like, hey, you usually accept all these claims, so here, I'm just gonna send this to you. Can you just flick the switch real quick? Just give me the accept button really quickly, please. To which they responded to Sibbles saying, hey, you want to see our YouTube frequently asked questions? Also, can you send us a link to the video, please, per chance? I'd like to see it so I can accept it. And then Sibbles, of course, responds with this email saying, hey, yeah, sure, thank you for the response. Here's the video. Go ahead, give it a look-see and flick the funny switch to allow me to monetize it. And it should have been done there. It should have been awesome and cool there, but the plot thickens, my dear viewer. It gets worse. Materia responds with, hey, Sibbles, looks like Undertale music was actually used in a different game. So, the copyright claim's gonna stay in place for this one. Which already brings up two big problems. One of them being, hey, you're supposed to always allow it, you dweeb. And also the second one being, it's not Undertale music, which Sibbles brings up in her response to that email saying, hey, just want to clarify, that's not Undertale music, it's a remix of Undertale music, and it's also been approved by Toby, like he's talked with the game dev. And this is when Materia Music does one of the most petty things that I've seen a company do, and I've seen a lot of petty things come out of companies in 2023 alone, but this was real petty. In response to Sybil's video, they updated their YouTube FAQ. They updated it. They changed it. There's a note that changed that says, hey, please note that in the case of fan games which use the music from the original game, including cover song versions or interpolations, our claims will remain in place. Which is crazy, because if you scroll down, you can see the thing I showed you earlier that said, hey, we're not going to discourage anyone from creating songs or remixes. In the same FAQ, like 2 paragraphs away, they contradict themselves. And yet, they're standing by this. They are standing their ground. And it gets even worse. They dig their graves even deeper. And before I dig into that, I want to clarify something, because I've shown very evident bias in the past against companies who I claim to abuse copyright. There have been instances where people have just kind of used their extent of the law to claim something that's rightfully theirs, but I kind of deem it petty or unnecessary, and so I get angry at them for it and make a video about it. But in this instance, not only are they literally contradicting themselves in their own FAQ, but they're going against the wishes of the guy who made the damn music. He threw the shit together himself and said anyone can use it. I understand that, like, he sold the rights. So technically, like, there's this extent where Materia can make the calls instead of him. They can override it if they want to. But if that's the case, like, people should stop supporting them. Like, it's so incredibly goofy that they're able to just change the rules because they deem it so. But of course, let's get into the other thing that Materia did, because this is just beautiful. The CEO, Sebastian Wolf, went on a tirade on Twitter. He got angry on Twitter about all of this. He posted a thread talking about how he's like, let's unpack the music of Undertale Yellow, in response to a tweet where Undertale Yellow's creator said, hey, you can go listen to our music on Spotify now, haha, because the corporate said we have to eradicate 100 tracks all off our OST, like, jokingly talking about the entire situation. But he goes on this huge tirade about not only Undertale's logo being trademarked, which is ironic considering Undertale's logo is not trademarked by them. It's trademarked by a separate brand called Royal something. I think he says it in his first tweet. Royal Sciences LLC. So it's not his, so that doesn't even matter when he's trying to argue about that. Because, I mean, if Royal Sciences isn't coming forward and getting angry at Undertale Yellow for this, it doesn't matter. That's not a point that he needs or has a right to make. And then in this thread, Sebastian also talks about how he doesn't believe that the music should be allowed to be used in commercial licenses, games that are paid. And sure, I understand that. You don't want people making money off of music that doesn't belong to them because it belongs to you, technically, now. But that gets shot down immediately by the thing I said earlier. Undertale Yellow is a free game. It's on GameJolt. You can go download it with the click of a button. And it doesn't even give you a Trojan virus on your computer. And his takes were so bad, in fact, that he ended up getting community noted with this community note right here that says, the project of Undertale Yellow was wholeheartedly supported by Toby Fox himself. I said that. And so the original soundtrack's copyright abolished. Knowing this, the threat is irrelevant and does not prove anything necessary nor important, only serving to fuel unnecessary drama. So he got ratioed by community notes, which is kind of hilarious, but then he actually takes a screenshot of that community note and tweets about it. In fact, he actually tweets about it and uses a clown emoji in the tweet, which is very professional, but he says this. And so was original soundtrack copyright abolished. What in the hell happened to community notes? Which then he gets community noted a second time. The writer of this community note has both followed the guidelines of being a contributor fully and has spoken the truth that any copyright issue was erased via support from Toby Fox himself. So, yeah, essentially, a company overstepped copyright, did something stupid, and then tried to complain about it on Twitter and got ratioed by community notes, which is so beautiful to see. But also, there's been a bit of an uprising on Twitter from people who have been seeing this go down, who've all been trying to get into contact with Toby Fox to tell him to essentially unpartner with Materia Music Publishing, which I'm not a lawyer, so I have no clue if that's even remotely possible, but he did create the music, so there is that sort of ability maybe for him to take it back. I don't know. I didn't go to law school, so I can't confirm that. Overall, though, it seems like the masses are getting very angry. That's doing a little bit of math there, putting some things together. They're getting mad about this, and so we're going to see where this goes from here, but I do heavily say don't go and attack this guy, because if we go and attack Sebastian Wolf for all this, he's probably going to enforce the rules even heavier because he has the ability to do so, which could ruin the very good thing we have going for us right now, which is the free use of Undertale music in almost every bit of content we can find online. But overall, this is about where this situation lies. It hasn't developed any further from now, but it's really interesting to see it go down. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, though. If you want to stick around for more, consider subscribing and catching me in tomorrow's video, because I post every single day. If you want to like this video, like it. I'd really appreciate it. Now, you can catch me on your homepage more often, and if you didn't like it, you could maybe dislike it. It would make me sad, and I'd be unhappy, but I'm going to give you guys the song of the day, which today is going to be Burnin' For You by Blue Oyster Cult. It's a pretty good song. I'm going to add to the Songs of the Day playlist, which you can find in the description down below, and I will catch you tomorrow. So thank you guys, and as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and...